guys, so like 5 days ago I said we're in the process of changing our fifth graders math curriculum. So we got our package today. We're gonna take a look at what we got here. We had a lot of great reviews, and I feel like one of the reasons why I love the good and the beautiful, because two of my kids actually are thriving on that one. My second graders are thriving on that one, but our fifth grader was struggling with the math segment of it. So we went ahead and got us the Saxon Math for Intermediate Power book. In this cosmic abyss, my mind takes flight. The thing, it comes with the manual, with the teacher's answer book and stuff like that. Solutions manual. I meant like this one is the solutions manual, so you don't have to do the guesswork. And the things that I've read or I've heard about is like very straightforward, something that the kids are able to understand. It shows concept and things like that, like the work. And with this math, it was doing great up until I would say like when we reached like lesson 40, which is unit 2, and things were not really clicking, and it just kind of derailed from there. So I said, you know what, I'm not setting you up for failure. Why don't we switch up to a math that is more predictable, that is more something that we have been doing in our schooling system, you know what I mean? So with the good and beautiful, one thing that I did notice is on his grade level, at least, it wasn't repetitive. And from what I'm seeing when it comes to math, it has to be a repeated concept, or it has to be a concept where he's able to build on it. You are able to build on the good and beautiful math, but it just wasn't clicking for him. So I feel like this would be a perfect one. As you can see, there's the answer books, and you can see it shows you as the parent the work and how the kid is supposed to get that particular answer, and not just the answer. The good and beautiful just gives you the answer, right? So if you're not able to explain to your child properly, this will basically do it for you. You're able to say, okay, it's such and such when you do what to do. You know what I mean? Give them the walkthrough about it, or the walkthrough on it. It's not like the fancy thing and stuff like that. So this is like the mental math. Okay, this is the mental math, right? The book and beautiful does have something that's the mental math, but I feel like this one would be much better from what I'm seeing, and easy, and has word problems and problem solving steps. So mental math, basically, as I was saying. Again, as you can see, I'm opening it up as it came, right, and giving you guys review on it as that. This is the what was this one? The testing book, right? Just to kind of see like what the kid is, you test them. This is their testing book. So after they're done with a particular unit, you go ahead and say, you know what, we're done with unit 1. Let's go ahead, cumulative test. There it is, right? There it is. So this is going to be highly important. There's something that the good and beautiful has an assessment after you're done with the unit, right? It has an end of assessment, but it doesn't have like a test like test 3 test. But this might have like how many tests does it have? And it has the answer keys here. Let me see. Okay, 23 tests. So that'll be like 23 chapters of tests and stuff like that, which is great. That means the concept are going to be repeated. Your child. What I'm going to do with this is I'm waiting for my eco tank to come. Again, look at this. Waiting for the eco tank printer to come, so that way I can go ahead and you can actually, I'm gonna have him just do it inside here instead of me having it printed and being papers and stuff like that. But there's something that I highly was excited about. So it is 23 tests on from lessons materials through, so lesson 5. So I love it. It's like in 5 increments up until about lesson 120. So this will be really great. This is the student workbook from what I'm assuming, because it's the biggest one. Yep, so this is the student workbook, right? Is a lot. Now, this is going to be for our 2020, 2026, 2027 school year, inshallah ta'ala, where right now we are most likely just going to, well, I don't know if I'm going to continue with the good and beautiful with phrase math segment at least, but for this one, definitely, look at this. I love it. It's very simple, very like straightforward, and I think this will help him. And the directions are very much like there, you know what I mean? So you guys can see the work through. I'm doing like a thorough review, and then once we are done with this, inshallah ta'ala, God willingly, I will go ahead and give like another review on how he's doing once he reaches maybe lesson 40, because that's where we started struggling, lesson 40 in the good and beautiful. And if this is a great one, guys, yeah, we're gonna stick with this. And I might even get him language arts, Saxon Math, if I remember correctly. The rainbow resource is where we got it from. Rainbowresources.com. Rainbowresources.com. That's the website that we got it from. So I believe the Rainbow Resources does have like language arts and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then that's fine. But I'm loving this so far. I'm not going to change my, how's that here? I'm not going to change my my second graders, well, soon to be third grader, information just yet, because she's thriving really, really well on the Good and Beautiful. And I just found a resource page where you're able to, what's that thing? Check the gaps. Instead of doing a curriculum, like doing an overhaul curriculum change, you're going to check and test where your child is actually struggling, so you can work on that. You can hone into that. And I'm going to share that in the next video. It'll be brief, so this is like a longer version of it. So look at this one. This is lesson what? Oh, this is this is lesson 2. So example, and this will be really, really, let's just look at it here. Like additions, right? Power up to 81, fill in the missing numbers is great. Have the Good and Beautiful does have something like this here, like filling the numbers and things of that nature. But I do really, really love this mental math that they do here at the beginning, so you can just go ahead and answer mental math, right? Fast thinking. Now, what is it called? Understand, okay? That's the problem solving. It's really, I'm actually liking this for me. I might go back and get me one. Right. So math is a critical skill that we all need to have, even though we might not be using like, these sequences, speed limits, time, grocery shopping, things of that nature, bank, as much as math might be pain in the behind, it's something that is very critical for us that we need to know. So this is sequence writing over here, as you guys can see. So again, I really, really love this. So let's go to lesson 1. Let's go to the answer key and see solution manuals. There's the lesson practice. Oh, this is not the right one. Am I tripping? That's the cumulative one. Hold on. Let's go here. As you can see. Okay. Let me take a look at this. Ow. Yeah, okay. So lesson 1 practice. So what was it? We're in lesson 1 right now. Written practice. I'm trying to find the answers here, right? My stomach hurts. So as you can see here, it correlates with the letters. So this is A, the next sequence is 12, 14, 16, so on and so forth. Just kind of basically follow along with it. It kind of gives you like a little bit of instructions or solutions and how you can explain this to your child. If you as a parent are not math savvy, it is a great one. And then it's segmented out. So the written practice would be, let me go to the next page, right? This will be the written practice segment of it. And then it has the answers here for you. Number 1, the pattern is to count up by 5 to find the missing term. We count up by 5 from 20. The next term is 25, right? And then 42, that will be, this pattern is you're counting down in sevens. You see the pattern. So that's just that. That's that. So far, again, I personally like it. It's going to be for our 2026-2027 school year. What I've decided for my homeschooling is that we're not really going to be taking summer breaks per se, especially for my child that's on the IEP, the developmentally delayed one, ADHD, the one that has ADHD. It's best for him to have a repeated work. So if I were to take a break from teaching him anything, he's going to regress really bad. And we have a surprise, hopefully, inshallah ta'ala. I don't think we should have anything across, but inshallah ta'ala, what's it called? We're this close to actually being able to read, and I'm so excited. I'm happy overall. As so far, the school year is going. This is my first year homeschooling, and I'm really, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen, really, really, really grateful. The kids are easy. Things are going very, very well, and yeah, so we'll see what next year brings, the next lessons, next plans. And I love how these are like this. Okay, I love how these are like simple. There's not too much. Can you give me the Good and Beautiful math book, your math book? so we can just do a quick comparison. Okay, so this is the 5th grade Good and Beautiful. And I love these books. Okay, again, 2 of my kids are on it, but I feel like it's great for visuals, like the visuals, how they, you know, it's colorful and stuff like that. But this one is straight to the point, like what we are generally used to seeing. We, as in us, when we used to go to school and stuff like that, it wasn't as colorful, at least for me, at least. It wasn't like all of this. So I feel like these extra things might be really. Now you can see one of the differences here, right? With, I have the answer here, it's a digital copy of it, but no. So it has a video lesson. That's one thing that I don't see this one has, but I feel like it does a thorough explanation that you don't really need a video for it to understand the concept of it. You know what I mean? But we'll see if that's going to be a detractor, or is there going to be a positive thing. We'll see how that goes, right? So this is the Good and the Beautiful. So this is the Good and the Beautiful. You can see they have the sequences and stuff like that, and they do have like the mental math side aspect of it and whatnot. See, here's just my grading system here, but in terms of colors and like the popping, make it kind of visually appealing for kids. It's great. I would just kind of wish that it does like a repeated thing when it comes to certain methods or certain fractions or certain things the kids are learning, for it to be more easier. So we haven't reached it. That's what we're seeing is an empty, right? There. Yeah, see the Good and Beautiful. We're not throwing it away. We're still gonna work on it occasionally, just here, like to just kind of work on it, because again, there's a lot of things that have not been completed on here, right? It's not been completed because it's just there. And this is what I was talking about. So they do have assessment on particular lessons, like lesson 1. So basically 1 lesson assessments, right? Huh? You did what? Let me see your tongue. Yeah, the tongue is not clean. That means your breath stinks. Go brush your teeth, please. You can't get chips without that. So lesson 18, it is the review here for you, and then you go ahead and do the course review, which would be the lessons that you do, and then you have the answer key. The answer key will just give you the answers precisely without kind of like any in-depth explanation as to why we got that. So this is the Good and the Beautiful. Again, we are changing our math curriculum, or that subject, to our Saxon Math Intermediate. This will be our 2026 2027 school year, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So in that sense, that you say, is he repeating a grade level? Yes, because remember, this is, well, you don't remember, but this is my child that was in Kenya for about 2 years. So technically 5th grade, he wasn't ready for it per se. So for him to even do 40 lessons, and then you kind of see the pattern, okay, there's a little bit of struggle. We're going to repeat it so that way he knows what he's doing, going on to setting him up for success on to 6th grade and onward. He just turned 11, so yeah, this is that. So we'll see how it goes, and then we'll see, draw a vertical line subject. So we'll build on it and see how the progression builds, because my thing is I need it to progress and build on, and then have the concepts be repeated, right? So that way it sticks to the person. It's not just a 1 lesson thing, and then the next lesson is something else, and the 3rd lesson is something else, and you're like, huh? You have no idea what you just learned. We don't want it like that. We need it to stick. Again, I'm gonna do that video for the to do like a gap testing to see where the gaps are, where the child needs to improve on, and then I'll share the website with you guys. I believe it's called Gap. I'm gonna double check my notes to see. Yeah, so 123 lessons, right? Because it's, I'm not mistaken. And then I love the index here. That's something, if I'm not mistaken, the Good and Beautiful doesn't really have like an index. They have certain things like here, the FAQs, and then about the course and stuff like that, so you can go ahead and take a look. And there is a reference page where you can go to rely on some things, but it is something that would be really, really great for the child to look at, to kind of learn what an index is, how to utilize index, glossary, all of that stuff. You see, this is a really good addition, I would say. pie chart, parallelogram, obtuse triangle, multiplication, line segment. But yeah, so the glossary, the index, and then is that it? That's it. That's it for this one. Oh, investigation. So gives them that tester license. It's really good. Overall, I just like how it is visually. Feels very, very like straight to the point and whatnot. So that's his workbook. There's gonna be, this is the mental, this is the mental math, if I'm not mistaken. This is the mental math. This is the mental math now. So we're gonna do like one mental math page a day, and then yeah. And then do like 2 lessons in there, depending how it goes. So that would be my take on that so far. Comment below, have you had to change your curriculums mid-year, or have you had to change the curriculum for the following year just so that you're setting your kids up for success? Let me know in the comment section. I actually forgot to, I think I mentioned it maybe in the beginning of the video or something like that. The difference is that when it comes to the good and beautiful, you know how they have this concept, watch then do. With the good and beautiful, it's like basically explain. So the teachers or the manual solution is not just the answer keys, as I mentioned earlier. It gives you the walkthrough on how it's supposed to be done. Right, it gives you like the solutions, but with how it's supposed to be done, etc., etc. And you explain that to your child, especially when you're doing like the heavy maths and stuff like that. So you explain it. You're basically the teacher. You do the guide. You're the video for your child, or you're that for your kid, and then they go ahead and do what they're supposed to do. So it would be recommended for you to go ahead and give them like 2 examples, like from here, to solve it. You can, when you're going to the actual thing, what is that? Yeah, I guess it's the same thing. When you're doing this, you give them an example like, hey, you're counting by 5s and whatnot. So what would come after that, right? You're going to give them the examples. You're the teacher, you guide them, and then they go ahead and do the information themselves. It's not something that they can, if they're able to comprehend it right away, they can just jump into it right away. If not, then you want to go ahead and be that support system to guide them. So you want to do maybe 1 lesson a day or 2 lessons a day, depending on how fast they're working and how fast they're grasping what they're learning, because they do have a section here where they learn the new concept, and they build on that till the end of the whole school year and whatnot. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's what I wanted to mention. So these like go hand in hand together. You have this to explain this to your child. And obviously there's also YouTube that you can watch.